Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to JAHAN-E, your own channel. JAHAN-E's latest initiative is The Leader Speaks. And we introduce the leaders who are the influencers, the leaders who have impacted the society, the leaders who have touched the hearts of the people. And today, we have such leader among us who is not only touch the hearts, but every day he is touching the hearts. He is bringing the energy. He is motivating the people, and he is transforming the lives of millions. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Mahendiran Periyasamy. Hello, sir. How are you? Namaskar.
Namaskar. How are you? Doing
I'm
great.
Good, very good. So it's very nice to see you early morning. It's your morning, my evening.
Yes. Different time zones, but working on the zone.
Yes. So what is the time zone in Washington, D.C. right at this moment?
Oh, it's 6:42 a.m. Eastern time.
Okay. So first of all, JAHAN-E is grateful that you have given your valuable time to us. And we are very much fortunate to have you here. You are a person who is spreading energy, and you believe that everything is energy and going to back to the energy. So how this philosophy works, we are going to discuss in detail. But before that, we would like to know about you, about your family, about your background, and about your journey.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you. You started with a great start, especially like, yeah, everything is energy in everything, like Einstein says. And so if you can look at the world, it's almost 4.3 plus billion years of world. And out of 4.5 billion years, and we human being is just one among 180,000 types of species. And we human beings are extremely powerful, will be able to create a new environment, whereas all other beings are just being with the environment, floating around and regenerate and few things. But of course they also come with the intelligence, but as a human being we completely excel by being ourselves, and will be able to completely recreate the environment however we want it to be. That's how I love working in the energy space. That's how I named the organization also as Energile. Yes, this is Mahendiran Periyasamy. I currently live in Washington, D.C., near Washington, D.C., United States of America. And I'm coming from a very simple, humble background. So my parents always said about two things. So one is about the right value system. And then the second thing is the education, the power of education, power of being a lifetime learner. And only education, can really elevate and can really empower and give us the power. And those two things were always just sticking with me, that how I can continue excelling, continue bringing the best out of myself, and doesn't matter how the external environment is. So there are two mindsets, right? So thermometer mindset and thermostat mindset. So thermometer mindset is how we react to the environment, whereas the thermostat is how we respond, and how, irrespective of the external situation, how we build ourselves internally. So that's how my journey has always been, self-empowering and getting me out of any environment, and learn through it, win through it, and then excel. So learn, grow, and excel. So that I did my basic studies from my village called Sirumaradur in southern part of India, from Tamil Nadu. And then I studied most of my education, from the government school in Tamil medium. And then I did my PG from Pondicherry Central University. And then around 1997, I started my career. I started with the Ministry of Defense and Hindustan Aeronautics Limited as a project engineer. And then I continued my journey with different companies, including Trigen, then General Electric, the company which was founded by Thomas Alva Edison. That's what brought me here in 2002 to the United States. And then, so I had great pleasure, working with the various other bigger corporates, like even Elon Musk, one of his co-founding companies of PayPal. I was working for Humana, Allstate, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Fannie Mae, and various other corporates. Then around 6 years before I started this Energile Corp, basically, I help individuals, teams, and organizations in creating that self-empowerment, as well as coming out as the leader, like your vision, the big vision what you are working, creating the global leaders and creating the inspired actions. So there's something I can say that, one simple analogy: improvement always starts with I, innovation always starts with I, and inspiration always starts with I, impact always starts with I, even income starts with I.
Wow.
It's not just the letter but the individual.
Yeah,
The
that's
same
really
way.
great to know. So much values you have given just within 2 minutes of time. And you started your journey 6 years ago to be a leader and to inspire the people and help the people to be their best versions. Although you were enjoying your job in different big names, big companies, that is the dream job for millions of people in the world. But thanks to you and hats off to you that you have decided that now you are going to touch the lives of the people and influence them directly. As you said, that everything starts with I. So that I means Periyasamy ji. So Periyasamy ji, now you are playing a role of a leader, and you have played a multiple role, multi-dimensional role. You just let me know that who is your role model as a leader? Knowingly or unknowingly, or purposefully or without intentionally, we follow someone in our life as a leader. We imitate them. So who is that person in your life?
Wonderful question. I have a little different answers. More than looking at as the role models, I get inspired from almost anything and everything, anyone and everyone, where I get to learn something new, where I can really, apply, because the knowledge alone is not powerful, but applied knowledge is the real power. And there are, of course, a lot of leaders around us during the different phase of life. Like, when I was growing up, I saw my dad as my leader. I also learned through my brother, sister, from my mom, like, from the that level, and, at different levels, from different teachers and different leaders. And maybe, I can say a couple of names which comes to my mind immediately when you ask, whom I get more inspired. Maybe people like Einstein, Edison, Tesla, and now, Elon Musk, the way they enhance their dream, right? So like Abdul Kalam says one thing, he talks about dream in a little different tone, that small aim is a big crime, and how we can really continue enhancing our dream, the size of the dream, and continue bringing the best out of us, because the abundance is already created. Enough is there. And only that the human being have created the limitations. So my inspirations have always been that, how leaders are really breaking their own limitations, and being the head of the organization or head of the family, or, head of any activity we do every day, we get up and we need to just keep shining. That's the only important work. So get up with big hopes and dreams, and then, continue excelling by keep shining in whatever field we all are in, and then go to sleep with the sense of peace and fulfillment. So that's how I look into it. So there are a lot of leaders. I cannot count just one of them. Like, I get inspired. I'm always ready to get inspired and ready to inspire others.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We cannot name any single person. It depends on the situations. It depends on the phases of our life. Because which phase we are passing through and which phase we are going through, then naturally now I think your latest passion is Elon Musk, that you have mentioned, I think in your conversation, 2 times you mentioned about him. Yes, of course, he is the one whom we all look up, that how he has grown and how he has like reached to that position. It's really remarkable, and we all have to follow him. We all have to take him as our role model. Now, my next question
Absolutely.
is, yes, yes.
Maybe if I may give one more person like Warren Buffett. He says one thing that his last check in his life. We know how successful he is. He's a believer of the compound effects, not just in the money and also in his habit, in his integrity and everything, right? So wherever he turns, the entire world turns in that direction. And he says one thing, that his last check should be bounced back. So whatever he got during his life, he wants to give back. It's so inspiring, and we always get inspired from such leaders, or even Steve Jobs in that case. Yeah,
very true. So now, Periyasamy ji, you tell me that during your professional life or your personal life, you have gone lots of ups and downs in your life. Lots of challenges you must have faced. But there are always some challenges. Those are very close to our hearts, and we feel satisfied and we feel proud of ourselves that yes, I was able to overcome that challenge. Do you remember any such challenge?
Lovely. I love the way you put it as a challenge, not as a problem, because the challenge has the word change in it, and the change has the word can in it. I can. And it also ends with the two letters, that is GE, right? I see the GE, because even though I was working for GE, I used to create my own acronyms, I as in the improvement, things like that. The same way U is like your opportunities are unlimited. So during my phase of life, there have always been an challenge, and the challenges always have the treasure within themselves. So whether where I've been a little boy, studying in a government school with not even having the I used to wear my brother's uniform and things like that. I used to read the book which was read by somebody else, maybe a couple of pages before or after, may not be there, and that kind of and every situation, it always just by changing the way we look at things. It's not just what life offers to us, but how we look at it, and how we really change the way that I'm not going to end this story this way. And maybe the situation would have started in a different way, but the end is within our hands. So nothing is like end in life, it's all in the bend. So that way, whether it is like overcoming the poverty and then getting into that education front, or from education to career front, or from career to the entrepreneurial ground, and always finding the fire and the spirit in each and everybody. So like everybody is the boon, every moment is the gift. And when I could change that kind of perspective, it completely changes the life. So that way, the challenges have always been there. Even today, we'll have challenge. Tomorrow we'll have challenge, but it all depends on how we look at. So there have been many challenges, whether maybe as a small little boy, working in different countries like UK, US, and visited multiple places for different reasons, having the global clients and things like that. It's always a challenge, but every time I get excited about learning through it and winning through it, and seeing the best out of every situation.
Yeah, thank you. So if I can say, like in nutshell, that it is your positive attitude that has always helped you to overcome those challenges. Because
absolutely.
Yeah, because I can see like that a spark in your style of talking, style of expressing. That spark, if it is alive, then you can overcome any challenge, then you can climb any mountain, nobody can stop you. Now, yes, Periyasamy ji, one more thing is there, that when we work as a leader, and when we have like big dream, you said that a small dream is a crime, as APJ Abdul Kalam ji has said. So if you have big dreams, you have a team with you, and in the team, there are different types of people. They have their own understandings, their own mindset, their own likings and dislikings, and it is quite obvious that at times there are conflicts in the team. So do you have any particular way of resolving those conflicts? How do you manage the team building?
Yeah, lovely question. Another lovely question. The thing is, it's not about dealing with the conflicts. It's about dealing with the uniqueness. And every individual, every leader, or even a follower, always brings their uniqueness. That means there's something which is very, very core and important driving factor within each and in every individual. So we have some sort of common vision that what vision where we need the entire team to travel with, but without underestimating the individual power, individual uniqueness, individual style of working, and their background and things like that. So as the leader, I think it's so very important to listen to that and understand where they come from. So what are their driving factors? What is it still the limiting belief, like we were talking about, and how we can really break that limit and making them to make the committed action-driven steps. And rather, it's a push model. It's a self-driven model, not a push-driven model. So I always ensure that how teams are really looking into it, how they continue being agilistic. That's why that Energile has that agile in it. How they can adapt to the changes. How they can really look at the bigger picture, rather looking at their individual small things. So continue living or leading the legacy or bringing their best version, and that empowers them, that empowers the team, that empowers the organization, or as a whole picture. So that's what I always focus, and I would say 99% or even more successful. Yeah.
Okay, so no push, only drive. That's what you believe in.
Yeah, no push, no pull, just flow. Flow state or fly state, I would say. Right.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for sharing your insights about this. If we talk about Mahendiran Periyasamy ji, that if we talk about your success, like you started a journey from a small village in Tamil Nadu, and then from there, how you have traveled your educational journey, then how you have traveled our nation, great nation India, and then you have come to the big nation. Everybody look at USA as like a dream destination. That yes, I have to go there, I have to settle there, and you are settled there, fortunately. So let me know that if you measure your success, how satisfied you are. Are you 100% successful, or still there are miles to go?
Great. I would say, the measurement of the success is in the fulfillment. Measurement of the success is in how many lives we can really impact, how many lives we can really transform, and how we evolve as a leader in the process, and how I have been maybe 10 years before, 20 years before, and now, and how my perspective, goes in the inclusive nature, not in, the not to get reacted by the rejections and things like that. How we really, come out even more stronger and things. So that is always the kind of driving factor. And that way, if we can see, like I said, living the kind of best version. So even like while working in UK or US, or even like in India, while going as a small village boy, but working in the bigger cities like Bangalore, Pune, Mumbai, or Chennai, and other places, everything is kind of new. And let me put in this simple perspective, right? So the life, there's a time, needle of the time, the needle of the present moments keep on moving. And during that, as an opportunity, there's a marriage between the moving time in our life and our own, inner efforts, and what we do out of it, through our talents, through our learning and things. So when that right match happens, every moment, at every opportunity, and that's why I said, you is equal to your opportunities are unlimited. Opportunities are not to be sought. Opportunity is what we create. Doesn't matter where we belong, or which city we live, or which country we live. Wherever we are, we live in the kind of digital world now, and we can serve the customers worldwide. and we can definitely influence even the person who sits in a different corner of nooks and corners of the world. And so what's the most important is, it's not about the external environment, it's about the internal environment. And once we have the clarity, we can just go worldwide. We can really not to get stuck with maybe one particular ism. And like also clearly says that always we deal with isms. So break the ism. You create your own ism. Create your own ism in the sense like discover yourself. Yeah,
Yes.
like Socrates said, no ties.
Very, very true, very true. And while you were discussing about your success, and you said that, very rightly said, that success measurement cannot be done, it is fulfillment that matters. So in between, you have mentioned about marriage, about the right choice, right partner. It seems that somewhere you want to give some credit to the spouse as well.
Absolutely.
It is already said that behind every successful man there is a woman. So I think that you want to give the credit to, of course, family plays very important role, not only as
Absolutely.
the spouse, our children, our relatives, our family. And yes, of course, a spouse is a strong pillar in our life. If their support is not there, we cannot be successful at all.
Very, very well said. That's what we started with the energy space. Now we are talking about synergy space, right? And the team and the family. Definitely, my family plays a very, very vital role. Right from my mom, my sister, brother, and currently, my homemaker. Basically, yeah, I would say my home minister, or how I can call it. I think Illara Toli in Tamil, I used to say. So it's really a very, very inspiring woman, and she has been really, really working on her dream as well as making sure my dream is being fulfilled, and kids are taken care and everything is taken care, and taking that important journey. So the synergy is perfect. Definitely, it's very inspiring synergy.
Okay, thank you, congratulations that you got your energy and then you got synergy. Now what is the next? My question is about your leadership style. We have different leadership styles are there. It's already like quite known to everyone. But
Yeah.
have you found about yourself that which type of leadership you adopt when you are dealing with the people?
Lovely. I would say that even as an extension of the synergy space, right? It's all about inclusive leadership. And one of our ancient treasures, person, the poet called Kaniyan Pungundranar, he says one thing in ancient scripture. He says, "Yadum ure yavarum kelir," like everybody is our kin, and every place is our place, and we should not get stuck that only my way. There are always like my way, your way, like wherever we go, right? And becomes the we thinking, rather being my I thinking, my thinking, and you thinking, your thinking, how we can really bring the our thinking. So that inclusive leadership in all aspect, diversity is not a threat. Diversity is to be celebrated, because there are more and more things are coming in, from different cities, different countries, different languages, or different genders, doesn't matter. And we all are the leader, that how we evolve as the leader, how we continue bringing our best, and how let me put it this way, like when people ask like how I can get more things done, how do you balance your work-life balance and things like that, I used to say one thing, that I want to give the best out of myself, and wherever I go, whatever I do in every action, and like a responding, not reacting, right? Then I want to get the best out of life also. And every moment, the life offers so much, like you mentioned, beautifully about the family, the importance of family. And when we just continue chasing the success, money, dream, and various things, we should not, we should always, be inclusive. Wherever we are, we want to be a responsive leader, and be an inclusive leader with the environment, and adopt ourselves into it. So that's my style of leadership. So I believe in it.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing your leadership style that is inclusive, and that is the need of this hour. How the entire world has become a global village. If we are not believing in inclusiveness, then naturally we are not going to live in harmony. And that is the need, in that way we can stop these type of wars, conflicts, and this type of, the harassment and the racism and all other things. Because, when we don't believe in inclusiveness, when we believe that I and my nation, my community, my people, my everything is the best, and that is a killer. There we kill the humanity. That's the reason. So
Very
thank
well
you very much for such a lovely thought. Now we have come to the end of this conversation, although it was so interesting and it was so informative and it was full of insights, I must say. My last question to you is that what is your advice or suggestions to your fellow leaders?
Great. It's like realizing, see, the art of living is in the art of giving, and how much we give. We always have been a receiver, have always been a consumer, one or other ways. And maybe the dress I wear is not made by me. The food I eat is not harvested by me. And there are lots and lots of things we can say. See, the ultimate thing is in the being a contributor, not the consumer. Being grateful, being responsible, taking the 100% ownership in any where whatever we do, and being committed and consistent about what we do. And many times if we are not consistent about if we are not really building ourselves in the compounding way and compounding effects of habits, compounding way of investing money, because save is the old word and invest is the new word. So the best investment in the entire world what we can make is within ourselves, right? There's a saying. And how we can really continue investing in yourself, continue being consistent, take the 100% commitment, because the commitment is a commitment for a commitment. There are always chain of commitments. So being responsible about what are my gifts, what are my gets, and how I can really be an instrumental part of the success wherever I go, whatever I do. It doesn't matter what role, what designation, and everything. So realizing that you are the leader, like the mission what you're working on. And yep, so continue being a giver, continue wherever we are, whatever we do. See that what is your unique contribution there, unique the proposition there, and how we position yourself, how we evolve as a person. And that alone will give all that we need, all the world all that the world needs. Yeah, wonderful, insightful questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It was lovely talking to you. May God bless you always. May you always shine like sun, and may you always give the energy, as your mission of life is, that you want to give the energy to the people so that they can live to the fullest of their life. I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much.